Tennessee's not going to play good defense in 2023. Tennessee is going to play elite defense. Don't look at me funny. I didn't say it. Josh Heupel said this. He said it actually at the Big Orange Caravan Booster Tour. So let's bring on coaching insider Jesse Simonton. You heard it. Josh Heupel said it. Is he lying? Or, Jesse, do you think Tennessee is capable of playing elite defense this year?
I don't think Josh Heupel's lying, but I do think he maybe got caught up in the classic, let's, give some nice red meat to the fans while you're on, your summer speaking tour. Color me skeptical that Tennessee's going to play elite defense in 2023 or any season with Josh Heupel as head coach. And there's a multitude of factors there, but namely being it's very hard to play elite defense opposite of Heupel's go-go offense.
Great point. So if the Volunteers are going to play let's not go with the word elite, if they're going to play better defense in 2023, what unit on that side of the ball needs to make the biggest jump from last year to this year?
It's got to be the secondary, Josh. I mean, this is a defense that in year two under coordinator Tim Banks did make some real strides. They were terrible in year one on third down, terrible in terms of scoring, terrible in the red zone. All three of those metrics improved dramatically, and yet they were still overall kind of a feast or famine unit, 70th in the mid-70s in terms of defensive success rate because the secondary was a sieve, 127th in pass defense, allowed the most passing plays over 10 yards in the SEC with 151. Three different quarterbacks, Spencer Rattler, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson. Two of those three guys weren't exactly awesome college quarterbacks last season, threw for over 450 yards. So have to shore up the secondary if they're going to be anywhere close to even good, much less elite.
All right, I want to talk to you about some new faces on the defensive side of the ball. But first, Tennessee fans, like this video and subscribe to the On3 YouTube page. We have a ton of recruiting developments and the latest college football news, so get on board and subscribe to the On3 YouTube page. All right, Tennessee has done a good job of acquiring talent, whether it be the high school ranks or the transfer portal. So who are some new faces on defense that you think will make an impact?
I think one guy to maybe circle that kind of generated a lot of buzz this spring was freshman linebacker Arian Carter. He's, again, one of these blue chip recruits you kind of tease there. He's come in. There's some opportunity. Tennessee, obviously, Banks is off to the professional ranks. Aaron Beasley's back, but there's, rotational snaps to be had. So maybe even if Arian Carter doesn't necessarily start in week one or even, early in September, I think he's going to carve out a role. Other guys that really need to step up are, Tennessee brought in two transfers from BYU, another linebacker in Keelan Pillai. I think he's probably going to start initially opposite of Aaron Beasley, but again, Carter's going to push for snaps there. And then Gabe Judy, a guy who actually started his career, played 3 years at Vanderbilt, transferred last season, played for the Cougars out in BYU, and now as a grad transfer is coming back to the Volunteer State playing for Tennessee. Again, we talked about the secondary. There's improvement to be had there. Duvall's returned every other, basically piece from that cornerback room. But I think, there's a chance that they really need to infuse that group with new fresh blood, and that's why that transfer was so kind of key.
All right, let's revisit that original quote from Coach Heupel. Does Tennessee need to be elite on defense? But here's the question. Do they need to be elite on defense to win the SEC, or can they get it done with a good defense?
No, they definitely don't have to be elite to win the SEC. I think they just need to be good. This is one of those classic situations where don't confuse or let elite or greatness be the enemy of good. This is an offense that is going to always score points. Josh Heupel has lit up the scoreboard, whether he was the offensive coordinator at Missouri, head coach at Central Florida, and then now the head coach at Tennessee. His scheme is designed to light it up. They're going to average 40-some-odd points a game, regardless of who is at quarterback. And yet, if you're letting the opponent basically match you firework for firework, you're never going to be able to actually be a championship contender. But if you can kind of just be good, if you can make that passing defense from 127th in the country to the 60s, I think Tennessee absolutely could push, for another 10, 11 win season And then even if they don't win the SEC or even make the SEC championship game because they're still staring up at Georgia, they absolutely could be a college football playoff contender in the 4-team league one more season, or definitely when the playoff expands to 12 in 2024.
All right. Well, if the old saying holds true, iron sharpens iron, then Tennessee's secondary should get a lot better this offseason going up against that Tennessee offense. We'll see what happens on the field in 2023. Jesse, thanks for stopping by Coach's Corner.
Appreciate the time, Josh.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button for me. And remember to check out all the videos on the On3 YouTube page.